Hi, everybody. It's the Latched Mama podcast. It is, hold on, give me a sec. It's Tuesday. We are very well in the groove of pandemic and quarantine life. And we are going to talk today a little bit about some life-saving things that we have found are helping us kind of survive. We're going to do this as probably more than a one-part episode, but today we are going to talk about some things that you can purchase because retail therapy helps us all, and we have found some pretty cool things out there on the interwebs that are helping us survive. Lindy's here because Lindi is one of the very few people in my family's quarantine circle because Latch Mama's got to keep moving forward. And so we have been batting ideas around and going back and forth on things that have helped our families because we both have very big families and pretty large age gaps between our youngest and our oldest. So yeah, I hope you guys enjoy it. And we'll link to some of the links that we're going to talk about and some of the things we're going to talk about in the bottom description of the episode. So enjoy. Yeah. You're listening to the Latched Mama podcast. I'm your host, Melissa Wirt, business owner and tired mom of 5. Join us each week as we talk about pregnancy, nursing, parenting, and all things motherhood. Hi. I'd like to say that I haven't seen Lindi a lot, but Lindi and I hang out on our back deck or my back deck every day, and we do all the Latched Mama creative stuff. We source it out to our people that are at home too. We all kind of work together to try and move it forward, but Lindy's kind of been my person lately, which is nice. How are you doing?
Good.
Yeah.
Good. Yeah.
We like to talk about the fact that we're very, very lucky and we're very, very fortunate that we still have help. We've kind of locked down with nannies or babysitters or people who also have very, very tight circles to kind of help us with our kids so we can continue to work, which is 100% not lost on us that our reality doesn't look exactly the same as a lot of working moms right now. And, sometimes I think we struggle with that just because it's not that we can't relate. It's just a little different for us right now. So just kind of wanted to lay that out there before we start talking that, it does look a little bit different for us, but at the same time, the days end, the help leaves, and we do have kids that need to be stimulated and need things to do, and we do have the weekends, and our kids are still very much, I feel like, living the same realities as everybody else in the sense that they're not going to school and they're not with their friends, and their little brains still need to be stimulated a little bit. So, yeah. How are your kids?
Good, for the most part. It's different. They still struggle. But I think finding these little fun extras, trying to have a little fun extra each week, they look forward to that.
So we were just coming off of my 8-year-old, I guess he's 8 now, who just had his birthday this weekend. And I saw a lot of posts lately on Facebook and in social media about, hey, how do you celebrate? How do you make things special? And I wanted to kind of pass along some of the things that I found and some of the tips that I learned this weekend and talk a little bit about things that are out there that really can make things special. All he wanted was an Animal Crossing and tie-dye birthday party, which was super easy for us to kind of pull off. He's this weird mix between this wonderfully weird, lovable mix between being super introverted and then being a leader when he's comfortable around people. I guess he's probably a little bit like me, which I didn't put the pieces together until I just said that. But it's pretty much me in a nutshell that he likes to lead when he's comfortable, but when he's not comfortable, he also is a pretty large introvert. So, we have been digging in our family, and we're gonna start older, and then we're gonna go younger. So hang in there if you have little kids. Hang in there because we're gonna get there in a second. But Animal Crossing. Apparently, this game has been around for a while. Apparently, I think I missed it. I'm 38, I think. So I was born in 81. So I believe at some point after like my Nintendo days, which I was like in the land of like Nintendo and Super Nintendo. Apparently, I think Animal Crossing came out when I was no longer playing video games. So I think there was like one for the GameCube. I don't know. I think some people can relate. I don't know, but it's back. It's called Animal Crossing New Horizons. And what's cool about it is that there's no fighting. So I'm super comfortable with that. And you build this little town. And it's super, there may be a part of it that isn't like super, super G-rated, but from what I have seen, it's like just this really cute little game where you create your island and you buy things and you sell things and you make things. It's fun. And my 8-year-old and my 6-year-old can play independently for the most part. It really actually helps with their reading too. There's a lot to read, but the cool part about it is that you can go online and interact with other friends and relatives and family members. So Nathan wanted an Animal Crossing birthday party, so his cousins and other friends were able to fly to his island with a special code that you give them, and they were able to come hang out, and they gave him birthday presents, and they saw his house, and he was able to show them different things that he had made. It was so fun. I've never seen, I had so much joy watching it. But like there were these little party poppers that people would show up at the island with, and they would pull them and there'd be confetti and they would celebrate them and give them cupcakes. It was really, really cool. It's like the perfect thing for pandemic birthdays because he still got to celebrate with some of the people that he loved. If you guys have a Switch, have a little bit of an older child, don't shy away from the idea of a video game just because it's a video game. It's cool and it's fun to play as a family as well. So that's my first older kid tip. Do you have any older kid tips?
Well, let's throw in that Messenger Kids app because mine have really enjoyed that. So if you have just even the cheapest like Kindle Fire, what are they, $30-$40? Mm-hmm. So it's a Messenger Kids app that's controlled through the parents, managed through the parents' Facebook account.
Facebook, okay.
You sign them up with a little account and it's like an app on their tablet and they can open up the app and the parent approves any contacts. So other parents have set up their kids and so they send a request through their parent confirms it, we confirm it, and then they're linked. So they can essentially FaceTime or chat and type with their friends.
That's awesome.
And it's really neat because I don't like to give my phone out to the kids to where it's unlocked and then they run around and lose it or break it or go into where it's stuff they're not supposed to. So it's on their own thing. So they'll call their Gigi and their honey and grandparents and the little girls in the neighborhood. And it's so sad, but it's so cute. And they set up their little tablets so where they set up their little doll like house and then they're playing together, but it's over a FaceTime call. It really is sad, but it's been a huge lifesaver that they will hop on in the afternoon and chat with their friends because they don't, they don't get to see them.
And when I'm saying I was celebrating the Animal Crossing thing, there's definitely, a level of grief that comes along with the fact that my child was eating cupcakes with his friends, virtually on some random island with some, pelican giving him a plane ticket to go see somebody. I don't know. But I have to say it did bring him a lot of joy. And, you have to adapt. You've got to figure out where you can get it right now. And another thing, we kind of sourced some of this information from our team this morning on our Zoom call and just kind of checked in. And we do have employees that have different aged kids. It was kind of really rewarding. We have Erin, who's on our customer service team. We could really tell at the beginning of this, she was really, really struggling kind of with her kids. She is, I think her youngest is 6, but I think her oldest, my guess is in middle school. Right? Yeah. Mm-hmm. And she was kind of struggling managing the 3 of them and at home. Of course she was, she was alone. She was trying to work. But magically today, we kind of asked her, we checked in with everybody and we said, we want a podcast today. What are some things that you guys have added, to your family that have really helped you? And there was this long pause from Erin and she just had this great big smile and she goes, my kids learned how to play again. And it was so rewarding because you could just see how happy she was that we kind of got through the first couple of weeks. And I'm like, well, Erin, what are they playing? And she's like, I don't know, like yesterday they got on their scooters and they went outside and they made a road and somebody was a police officer and somebody, drove too fast. And it was so kind of magical to watch her just talk about the fact that her kids have kind of leaned into it and started playing with each other and started imagining again and, using things in parts of their brain that maybe they hadn't been. And, she said her kids are starting to play with Legos again and she's pulling things out of the attic that they hadn't played with before. So I think for some of the older kids, it's a great lesson in maybe letting them be bored and seeing what happens and where they go, maybe with things that they used to love or that they have around their house. I don't know. It's kind of a cool lesson. And, maybe you don't need to buy a whole bunch of stuff or.
Mine ask for all the Amazon boxes, any boxes, diaper boxes, wipes boxes, and then they create. And then I always make sure we have like a whole pack of duct tape.
Yeah, for
and
sure.
We just go to town and make forts and stuff.
Yeah. Our backyard looks like a little bit of a disaster right now. I think we have like 4 forts in the making and, it's like a whole town back there at this point. Okay. But, it is what it is. I feel like sometimes the older kids, though, you can give them an electronic or you can, have them go create forts. It's sometimes the little ones that need the more supervision that, finding those things that can kind of send them on their way for a little while has helped me, I know, tremendously. We had a local company. I've been really big into watching people pivot, partly because it fascinates me, partly because at Latched Mama, we're kind of having to pivot as well. But watching people pivot and then really getting excited for them and celebrating, whatever way the business has tried to figure out how to stay, with some sort of revenue stream. So one of our neighbors had a sign painting business. So, like the group parties that get together and, you paint your name on a sign and stuff like that. And I kind of watched her pivot and she's been making these with her skills of, creating these wooden signs. She started creating sensory tables. So we purchased one for the family and it has been fantastic for the little ones. So for Benjamin, who is 2.5, and Caroline, who is 4, it's just this little wooden table, but we have Kinetic Sand on one side and we have Orbeez on the other side, which are 2 things we really didn't have much of going into this. It just wasn't something that my family ever purchased. Both of which, though, have been amazing. Do you guys do sand and Orbeez and stuff?
Well, I mean, you remember my Orbeez.
Yeah.
My Orbeez issue. And you had your own with the plumbing issue.
Absolutely.
And I told my husband about it and he's like, oh my gosh. He's like, I didn't even think about it in the toilet. I'm like, yeah. So I'm glad you got that sorted out. But
eventually, if you do go the Orbeez route, Orbeez, if you guys don't know, water beads, they start off super tiny. And they turn very large. Somehow we had some end up in the sink, which I didn't think was a big deal. I don't know why I didn't process it, but everybody was just kind of washing their hands over the Orbeez that were getting bigger and bigger in the sink. And then they started to eventually break down, which ends up being a good thing. But while they were breaking down, they ended up getting into the sink. So we had our one powder room where, people are washing their hands 1,000,000 times a day because we're all washing our hands hopefully 1,000,000 times a day. I totally thought
it was the toilet.
No, it ended up in the sink. Okay. So then the sink kind of overflowed and then the Orbeez got stuck in the little hole that helps when the sink overflows. But eventually they broke down. But it took a really long time. So yeah. So
they're still in my grass. It's been weeks.
So Lindi messaged me before I even knew what Orbeez were and was just like, so somebody spilled all of the Orbeez out on the driveway. And she's like, it hasn't rained yet, but when it does, she's like, it's going to be a nightmare.
There are like thousands. They're still there.
They
still swell up.
They get super big. I didn't realize how big they get.
We had some almost to a golf ball size.
But they're fun,
They're awesome. They really are. I just gotta just try and supervise it. But no, we got to go back to this Kinetic Sand because my mom has it. She has this bright neon green stuff, and it is like the most asked for activity, like when she either comes over or they go there, and we're talking like up to my middle schooler, like he will sit there. So she has it in this bag, and then she's got this goodie bag of like this gallon size of these random like decorative things. So like the little glass beads that go in the bottom of like vases. They're shiny. And so their whole thing is they make cakes. So that everybody gets, we just use
Really
cookie sheets.
cool.
So you want to try to contain it. So we just pull out cookie sheets. And then she has this little old school like candle holders. So they make cakes and they literally light them and they sing happy birthday. And they just do it over and over and over again. It's fantastic. So I finally bought like 6 pounds of kinetic sand, and my 4-year-olds will sit without getting off that bench for 2 hours. I mean, you'd think they could make it through 15-minute dinner, but they will sit there for 2 hours straight playing with the kinetic sand. And the fact that it's like the stretchy, it's not a big mess. Like it's way better than Play-Doh.
Jinx. We literally, we do not.
done with
I
Play-Doh.
have a no Play-Doh rule. Danielle, you're amazing. Thank you. You can just leave right there. You can just leave the black light forever.
Thank you so much.
You're amazing. Danielle, really fast. Jump on a mic. Really fast. Come here. Is there anything that you have bought or that is like life-saving right now on lockdown with Kai? Because Kai's how old?
He's 4.
Okay. Lean into the mic. Is there anything that you guys are doing that's like saving the day or anything? Not to put you on the spot.
Okay, so the one thing that I came up with for him, because he's just like struggling with not being in school and like the structure, the discipline. So I was able to create like a calendar where he's going to get 2 stickers a day, one for being a good boy and one for like doing schoolwork and, stuff like that. So went to Dollar Tree, got like a bunch of little prizes, all that, and created like a little prize box.
It's amazing.
For him.
Yeah. We've been doing the same thing with Caroline. Caroline started a sticker start, so she's 4. And that's been totally rocking with us too. So totally agree.
That's cool.
Yeah.
Like a treasure box.
Yeah.
And he gets to pick something.
Yeah, it is.
That is a great
Because
idea.
then I bet he plays with that thing that he picks for a little while and gives you a little break.
Yeah.
Yes.
That's the best.
Yeah.
Cool.
The best
Awesome.
have been the boogers.
The boogers.
They're like slime, like
Squishy
booger things, and then like you find like a little prize in it or something.
Whoa. I like it.
Yeah.
That is
Cool.
cool.
Awesome. Thank you.
All right. But yeah, everybody needs kinetic sand. Like all the kinetic sand.
Can we just be thankful for the Starbucks drive-thru right now too? Yeah. For sure. So kinetic sand, it looks messy, but it's so much better than Play-Doh.
Vacuums up really well, but we try not to spill it because it's
but
not
it sticks
expensive,
to itself.
but it's a quality product. So.
And there are so many different places that make it at this point that you can find it. I think ours latest one came from National Geographic, just because that was the only thing that was in stock that could get to us fast enough. I mean, it came off of Amazon, but it was I don't know. So
I just got 2 packs. It was $9.99 for 3 pounds. I have 6 kids. They can all play with a decent amount. So it was $20.
Awesome. That's great. And just so everybody knows, Amazon does lie right now for the most part. It says, well, it's not 2-day shipping, but it's also not like 4 week like it says. I feel like things are showing up a little bit faster than they actually say.
Yep.
Let's see. What else? Lindi found a cool find that she's excited about. It's actually on her doorstep right now. She just showed me the picture of it sitting on her doorstep. What did you find?
Okay, well, hold on one second. I'm going to get to it. But our last birthday party was right before like everything shut down, and we really only had family there. Okay. So this is like our next birthday coming up. And I went hunting for like cotton candy machines because really she's the little one. She's like, Mom, when can we have cotton candy? She's turning 6.
Okay.
And so I was like, well, let me go look. Like maybe these are not that, I'm not buying this like massive thing. I'm like, maybe they're not that expensive. I found one. It was $30. And then you can buy the granulated stuff to put in, but you can also use hard candy in this, like just a bunch of Jolly Ranchers in there to make it. And it was $30.
That's
with
awesome.
Really good reviews, like over 2,000 reviews. So it's on my doorstep right now. It's going to be really hard I was going to do it for her birthday. But
can you imagine how much fun they would have with it if you just set up a little carnival set up outside and
I mean, we do movie nights, so this is probably going to happen before that.
That's amazing.
But I think it'd be fun.
Speaking of movie nights, I don't know if you guys know, But you can also get outdoor screens on Amazon for pretty inexpensive. It's basically just a bunch of PVC and a sheet. You could also make it yourself, but we're trying to take the pressure off of families to be extra right now and tell you that you can also find it on Amazon. And then projectors, you can get a projector for your iPhone. That's super cheap. Or you can get a regular projector as well. But outdoor movie is definitely doable. You can also just hang a sheet on your house as well. But like I said, I'm trying to lessen the pressure on families right now to do these extravagant things. But I think that that's also an awesome option that you can find on Amazon, is just, stuff to do that. Popcorn makers are great. We just bought a microwave silicone popcorn maker. My husband's always been really into air popped popcorn.
We have an air popper.
It's fine. It just seems weird to me. My family was a microwave family, and I understand that there are a lot of chemicals and stuff in the bags, and it is what it is. I ate microwave popcorn growing up. Hopefully I'll be okay in the future. But Eric's been very into air popping popcorn for the kids, and then he doctors it all up. It literally takes forever, and they're normally not watching the movie by the time he's done making the popcorn. But we got some sort of silicone air popper, and it's fantastic. It still goes.
Microwave?
I don't know. I think it might go on the stove. I don't know.
In a pot?
I don't know. I might have to look it up while we're talking. I don't know.
Okay.
Maybe Eric will text me, but then I don't know. But anyways, it's a silicone popcorn maker. The popcorn is good. I have not seen the process though. But it's cheap. And it's good. What else? We had another one.
Well, let's talk. One of my you have one, I have one.
Okay.
One of my favorite, probably the best buys I've ever bought was a bounce house.
Yes. It's expensive though.
Yes.
But
if
good.
you can do it long term, I think we got it 18 months ago. I think it's been used every day. It's currently taken up what would be a formal living room area, which is kind of like a playroom. But I've
never heard somebody regret the investment. And
I think it was 180, and we've used it every day. So it's $1 a day, and we have it. I mean, really.
Yeah.
So this was fantastic for toddlers, preschoolers,
100%.
elementary, even my middle schooler will get on there. He just gets a little wild.
And it's super easy. It just plugs into it's not.
It blows up in 30 seconds.
Yeah, and it plugs into just a normal outlet. We have ours kind of all folded up on the front porch, and we just put it in the front yard. But you can literally put it up and take it down in 2 to 3 minutes, and it's not that heavy to unroll. It actually it's
a cool long-term investment if you take care of it. Yep.
Yeah,
So
ask for it for a birthday. There's a lot
there.
of grandparents who want to be included right now and feel like they're doing something special. My mom sent my kids popsicles for Nathan's birthday this weekend, which was cool. No, I think they forgot about them. It was they have. It was good. I don't know, so much stuff, but yeah, we have a company who's doing popsicle deliveries right now in Richmond, which is incredible. So what else? There is also on Amazon, as the weather gets warmer, there is a splash pad for $20 that attaches to your hose. So I don't know if you guys are familiar with bringing your kids to a splash pad. We have a few around here in Richmond. It's just basically water that comes up from the ground, but it's fantastic for the kids before they know how to swim. And even after that, especially if you can contain them, because then they just run around and the water squirts up from the ground, and they put cups over it and they sit on it and they collect it. It's splash pads are I feel like a gift to mothers everywhere. But this one attaches to your hose, so it's the same type of thing, but it spreads the water out and comes up from the ground. I could see hours and hours being spent doing that as well. So that could be something cool for your front yard.
Yeah, I think any kind of pool or water thing. The other thing it's funny, it's probably been the easiest cleanup weird toy that we've brought in. We had 2 blow up donuts, and then we had a poop emoji. For the pool.
Like a raft?
Yes.
Okay.
So they're blown up, and they're used all the time during the day, and it's the easiest thing to clean up because it's one piece. And
what do they do with it?
They stack them, they jump in them, they we'll put blankets over them, and then I the most random stuff with them, but they're squishy, and you can do. I don't even know what they do with them, but they've provided a whole lot of entertainment. Or they'll get in it like a tube and then they're like
bumping each other.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That's fantastic.
Yeah. So it's another kind of like outdoor toy that's become a whole lot of fun.
It's so funny what they come up with. You just give them the littlest things and they just get all creative.
Yeah. When you do the tie-dye kit.
The tie-dye kit.
That was we both did that.
We both did it.
It was fantastic. There's this tulip brand one on Amazon. You can get it at Michael's. Yeah, or at Michael's craft store. It was fantastic. We bought shirts separately just to get some different sizes and whatnot, but I bundled up my little ones, but oh my goodness, did they have fun putting those gloves on and just squirting the heck out of the t-shirt, and they came out fantastic.
We were able to find Caroline, who is our 4-year-old little princess, a twirly, like a white twirly dress on Amazon. It was like $9 or something. Fantastic. She tie-dyed that. She wants to wear it every day now. I want to let her tie-dye one every day. It's fantastic.
Whole new wardrobe.
I also mentioned this on the vlog last week, but chalk markers. Buy a set of chalk markers. They are fantastic. You can write on windows. You can write on cars. You can write pretty much anywhere, and it washes right off. Mm-hmm. So you have these cool new palettes that the kids maybe haven't explored before. I know where we're kind of at right now, there's just paper and art projects and coloring books kind of all over my entire house. So it's nice to be able to let them go outside and still be creative. So they draw on our cars, and then we take the cars through the car wash, which is another adventure. But they can also draw on storm doors and windows, and it comes right off with water, which is fantastic. It just gives them another kind of outlet to be creative. And as I've somehow learned in parenthood, that creativity for most kids settles them down. It's incredible. It's using a part of their brain that they don't normally use. They use it, but just getting them to sit and color or to cut or to draw, finding those activities that maybe don't need direct supervision seems to settle my kids down quite magnificently. So
yeah. The other thing we've enjoyed is we got like a butterfly kit.
Yes, I was going to go there too.
A lot of people have done it. It was so cool. And we're like not a pet family as much as Melissa tries to send me dogs. So I was like, yeah, butterflies. We can do that in a cage. Yep. And then it was a little sad letting him go. My little guy with a big heart was really sad to let him go. But it was really cool to watch that process.
I was going to talk about that. We got a puppy. But you don't need to go all the way the puppy route. But a lot of people are getting pandemic support animals, as I like to call them. The puppy's pushing me a little bit right now, but she has been a wonderful addition to our family. But butterflies, I did frogs growing up. You can mail order frog eggs. Can you really? Yeah, and then they turn from eggs to tadpoles to frogs. And then you eventually have to do something with them.
So if I get all the stuff,
we have a
creek in the back. So
yeah,
I could just no,
I don't know. I don't know if they're like the type of frogs that live in the creek, and then you're going to destroy the ecosystem, like the big snakes in Florida. But no, I mean, at some point, mine lived for a really, really long time. I remember one got out one time, and I mean, I was old. I mean, probably too old to do frog eggs, but it was still cool. I think I was probably like 12, 13, 14, maybe. I mean, maybe that's not too old. I just remember being like, I didn't really have anybody to talk to about my frog eggs because like it wasn't a cool thing to do. So I think I was probably too old for frog eggs. But I do remember at some point the 10-gallon aquarium that they eventually moved into wasn't big enough for them or something, and they would somehow get out. And we had a golden retriever at the time, so the frogs would get out and they'd be wet, and so they would they would somehow accumulate this dog hair as they like hopped behind the couches and underneath the couches. So I came downstairs one time, and it was like this little ball of fur, and you couldn't see the frog. You could just see the little ball of dog fur that just hopped all around the family room until we realized it was actually a frog that had gotten out of the aquarium. Anyways, I think we're all going a little crazy, but yeah, the frogs you can do. The note about the butterflies, when I was super mom earlier in life, before I had a business, I was really into doing the butterflies. And so I did them a few times, and they needed to be released, but we were going to Florida to see my family. So we brought the butterflies with us. So we hung it comes with like this little like butterfly thing that the butterflies live in. And we hung it to like the, where you hang the clothes when in the car.
The handle?
Yeah. So we hung it to the handle, and I had pictures of like us stopping at a rest stop, and there was like, the kids, the dog, and the butterflies. It was really funny, but we let them go in Florida. And you probably should let them go and then walk away. So we let them go, and it was like 6 butterflies immediately. And the birds came very fast for butterflies. There were birds who swooped down very quickly, and the butterflies didn't last very long. So so make sure that the butterflies kind of, you let the butterflies go, and then you say goodbye to the butterflies, and then you walk away and let the butterflies frolic wherever they may go.
We did, and I didn't see any birds.
Okay, good.
But it was, I remember reading on the note, it's normal if they kind of hop on your hand and they kind of wait. And I thought that was really cool, because there was one that literally hung out on Gabe's hand for like 4 or 5 minutes before it went away. But it was nice, because he actually, like, when you're watching them and they're in the cage, like, you don't get to like hold it like you would a pet or anything. Yeah. So he thought it was super cool that it sat on his hand for a long time before it flew away.
And going back to like our last podcast when we talked about homeschooling, that doesn't need to feel like homeschooling, guys. That's science. Watching your butterflies grow. We were supposed
to do like a journal thing, but we didn't do it all the time. But now he can tell you all about. Yeah, he was a little nervous because, like any birth, there can sometimes be like a little bit of blood or liquid or fluid.
There is, so once they come out of them.
Came downstairs absolutely like in tears one day because there was this red stuff, Mom, and I was like, it's normal. Like, we've looked at,
So this is like when
it's cool.
When the butterfly comes out of the chrysalis, there is some liquid that is
kind of like
expelled. That does
birth fluid.
Yeah, that can look a little scary.
Yeah.
But it's cool. But I love how each of them is so different, and there's so many lessons to be learned. There's so many things, and it's not hard to keep them alive between the time they come out and the time you actually let them go.
No.
So that's a super good one. You can get those off of Amazon too. And guys, if you can't find stuff on Amazon right now, please go and find these companies' direct website. As somebody who owns an e-commerce store, Amazon's going to get a cut anyways. They probably, honestly, in a lot of cases right now, can't get it to you as fast, even as the company does. I know at Latched Mama, we can get you clothes faster than if you were to order them on Amazon right now, which is something we're super proud of. But each of these things, if you Google for them, you probably can find the direct manufacturer and the direct website. And if they're able to still be open, they are open, and it's probably a great thing to support them in any way that you can right now. As also, kind of taking that a step further, there are a lot of companies, like I said earlier, that have pivoted. There are, I don't know, in a lot of towns, I know in our town, there are a lot of people who have tried to create their product in a way that the kids can experience it at home, or they can do different projects. Like we have a company here very, very close to our house, in our warehouse, that was a party place that did different birthday parties, and they had just opened into this beautiful big place. It's actually where our play set from the warehouse went. And it was just basically like a coffee house / play area for the kids, and then a party area and an art like class area in the back. So they've had to close their doors. But what Tal has done, and she's absolutely amazing at it, she's completely pivoted, and she's made take-home art kits and different tie-dye stuff, and has done an amazing job at pivoting. So where you can, try and find those places locally and try and support them, because you're going to want them to be there when this is all over. And not only is it people's livelihoods, but they're going to bring, joy to your family on the other side of this, hopefully, if they stay open. So try and focus on those too, if you can. Yeah. That's my small business PSA for the day, because it's not always easy. Anything else you want to add?
I don't know. I think we
hit pretty much all of it.
I think we got all of that.
You don't need to reinvent the wheel. don't feel like you need to do these elaborate, scavenger hunts for your kids or, be super involved. There are solutions out there.
Throw in that one from Hannah today. Really, going on walks.
Yeah, walks.
My girls have been going on walks. You take a bag, you take a cool little purse, whatever.
There are a lot of baby
and they
ducks
can collect
too.
things. Yeah, my girls like to go see these little 9 baby ducks that are near this pond in our neighborhood, and you can find all kinds of cool things on your walks. My girls are also into flower pressing.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know if Caroline's ever done anything.
No, that's cool.
So they'll go and pick some flowers, and they like to press it in a book, and then they'll glue it and make art.
That's cool.
So you can use things around you. And it doesn't have to be expensive.
I think also from homeschooling and being at home with 7, 8, 9-year-old little boys too, there's something to be said for endorphins, and there's something to be said for getting out and getting exercise. We used to laugh. Lindi and our kids are on the same year-round swim team, and Nathan gets out of the pool after an hour and a half of swimming, and it's literally like he's a different kid. He is in the best mood I have ever seen the child in, and it's every single time. They're just so happy. 99% of it are endorphins. So if the kids are getting grumpy, if they're getting bored, have them go for a run, go play outside, just get them active, and you'll start to see kind of hopefully the kids that you're used to at the end of the school day and stuff come back to you. So just
they may be hungrier.
Hungry. Anyways,
let's not go to food.
Hang in there. You guys are doing great. We'll link to some of these things in the actual podcast description. But yeah, don't do too much. Everything's fine. Lower your standards. Give yourself some grace. Yeah. More power to you. Bye, guys.